Hello and welcome to my channel. In the last video, I discussed about the limitation of self-help groups, about some of the solution to resolve the problem of self-help group, and about the citizen charter, its history and the components. In this video, I am going to proceed further from the last video and we're going to discuss about the shortcomings of citizen charter, about some recommendations made by Administrative Reforms Commission, and lastly about the principles of citizen charter. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump to the first topic, which is the describe the limitation of citizen charter. First limitation is the lack of participative mechanism. Citizen charter framed in India does not involve all the stakeholders, which means its formulation is not a consultative exercise. The citizen charter is prepared at the managerial level, hence it becomes a managerial charter instead of citizen charter. There is no procedure or mandate for was provided when it was announced, and because of that there was lack of knowledge. So it was prepared by the manager itself. These managers were not the beneficiary, so it was having the same problem as it was faced by the bureaucrats. So the citizen charter was prepared with the discretionary power or discretionary thought of the managers. There was a lack of participative mechanism. Second is the lack of public awareness. Only a small percentage of end users are aware of the commitments made in the citizen charter, and therefore there is a lack of assertiveness in the implementation of charter by the citizens. Third one is a poor design and the content. Organizations, they don't provide the timeline, or they are not within the time bound. They don't highlight the standards of services even. So they do not provide a grievance redressal mechanism. This is the problem of content or design. We can say that in other words also, that there is the absence of critical information in the charter that can allow the end users to hold the organization accountable, and therefore the meaningfulness of the charter is lost. Fourth is the citizens charter are rarely updated. The updation of on the evolution of requirement or demands, they also want something new or something extra from the organizations. There is a change in ecology of administration function. Best example is technology. The charter was made in the year 1997 and it is not relevant now because the society is evolving, economy is changing, and politics is also changing. So the charter should be updated on regular basis. Otherwise, it is going to become obsolete. This is the observation done by the Administrative Reforms Commission. Also, we can say this in the technical language as there is a need of regular updation of charter because of the evolving governance. That is, with the environmental changes, the requirement and demands of citizens undergo constant modifications. Also, the technological, economical changes impact how administration functions. Therefore, the need to periodical update of charter is required. Next is the uniformity in the citizens charter. We know that the problems faced by the different state or the different people of the state is different, means they are having the different problem. Then how they can have the same citizen charter? The citizen charter adopted in various organizations and generally influenced by the parent organization mean they overlook the local issues, and the citizen charter has an objective of delivering citizens friendly services, and therefore the local issues are to be taken into consideration before drawing the charter. means there should be work done in each field organization so that they can understand the local issues and accordingly they can update or they can make their own charter. Next one is the miserable standards of delivery are rarely defined. Mostly, Mostly the organization does not objectively define the service standards, making it difficult to assess whether the delivered level of services have been achieved or not, thereby compromising on accessibility or accountability being established or enforced. Now, there are some recommendations to resolve this problem and which was made by the Administrative Reforms Commission or ARC. The first one is the one size does not fit all. It means one charter cannot be used by all the different locality. It refers to the problem of uniformity, and according to the Administrative Reforms Commission, drawing the Citizens Charter is a decentralized activity to be taken up by every organization under the overall umbrella of or broad guidelines of headquarters. So, headquarter will provide guidelines only. They are not going to make the charter. Next is the wide consultation process. The citizen charter should be formulated after an extensive consultation within the organization, including all the stakeholders and also through a meaningful dialogue with the civil society. Because the civil society represents the interests of citizens and the stakeholder with the organization and citizens will be consulted before making citizen charter, and that is going to give a true citizens charter. Third one is the firm commitments to be made. The Administrative Reform Committee was trying to address the lack of service standards in the charter. So they recommended for a firm commitment. The Citizens Charter must be precise and make firm commitments to service delivery standards to citizens in quantifiable terms wherever possible. Fourth recommendation was the redressal mechanism in case of default. Default means non-delivery of services or service standards not being met. If it is observed by the ARC that there is no grievance redressal mechanism present in the charter of most of the organization, so they will not be citizen friendly services. ARC observed that many organizations did not have a charter about the clarification of grievances redressal mechanism, and so they recommended that every organization should clearly lay down such a mechanism in order to provide relief to the citizens. There should be a periodic evaluation of the charter. Means the administrative, this was also a recommendation because this they say that everything is changing and with time they should evaluate, and they should evaluate by the external agency. Next one is the hold officers accountable for results. The Administrative Reform Commission suggested that accountability of officers responsible for inefficiency or non-implementation of charter should be upheld to provide citizen-friendly services. So these are the some recommendation by the Administrative Reform Committee or Commission which should be followed to overcome the problem of this citizen charter. Now let us discuss about the last topic, which is the principles of citizen charter. First is the quality, that is improving the quality of service. Second is the choice for the users, wherever possible optimization should be done. Optimization means providing services which citizens want. Example is we are having bank which is providing different kinds of loan to different kind of need. Next is the standard, which means specifying what to expect within a time frame. Fourth one is the value for the taxpayers' money. Fifth is accountability of the service provider. Next is the transparency in the rules, procedures, and grievance redressal. And the last one is the participative, that is, consult and involve all the stakeholders within the organization and the civil society. By this, I'm concluding my video. And if you find my video useful, kindly like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.